Alright guys, here's the situation today. I've got this metal ring that goes on the fuel tank on the 250 or 350 out there. And what I'm going to try to do, getting it off isn't a problem. It's going back on, especially with a brand new O-ring under here. It is tight and it's hard to turn it. One side keeps trying to pop out. I'm going to try to make a tool, and obviously I can make one out of steel, but that's never a good idea. Even knocking the ring off, you should use brass or something that's not going to cause a spark. Obviously, you're banging on a fuel tank. So this is some pretty thin aluminum, but I think if I have all four of these, if I can grab all four of them at the same time, I should be able to hold it down and turn it and lock it back in. So that's the plan. We're going to take the plasma cutter, cut this out. We'll see if it fits this. We may have to do a little fine tuning with the die grinder, but that's kind of what we got going on right now. That's the plan. Make sure y'all can see this. Yeah. And the handle is just kind of, everything's just hand drawn to see if it's going to work. We'll have to fine tune the handle too, I'm sure, but I don't really care what it looks like as long as it actually gets the thing back on there. Well, and this is a hell of a deal. I just bought these welding gloves brand new, and I got two left-hand gloves that were in one kit. That's stupid. So, I guess we only have a left-hand glove to use. Fantastic. Idiots. Alright. The workpiece. Okay. Try it again. Now before I cut this completely free and it falls, we'll go ahead and cut this inner piece out and leave the notches, and I hope I did this right. I think I can already tell I did it backwards. That was supposed to be female, not male, but it may still work. Almost. Yeah, I should have done that the other way. Okay, let me get another piece and we'll go from there. Okay, the first one I cut out was backwards, exactly what I needed, so we're going to try this again. I don't like that handle. Don't really like that one, but I think it's going to work. So we're going to try to cut this out now, and we'll see if it fits on that ring, and if it does, we may have us a useful tool that we can actually use. Because I got the sending unit in for the tank, and I need to, one, I really need to flush the bottom of the tank out. There's a bunch of rust and junk in it. And two, I need to get the sending unit installed, which technically it already is on the fuel module, but I need to get it in and get it wired up so I can tell how much gas I got. So, So for now, let's get this thing cut out. that'll work. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to grab it enough to overcome that O-ring and lock it in. Alright, I'm going to clean this up and then we'll test her out. Alright, not as pretty as I'd like it to be. As you can see, it's got a little slop in it, but it should do the trick. It should, well, I'm going to be going this way. Mainly, if it only grabbed two, it would work. Because the problem is, when I put it on before, I had to do it by hand with a punch. And you'd get this one in and this one would ride out of the groove and it kept popping up and it was almost impossible to reach down and hold it with, you know, one hand and try to hold a punch and drive it. I managed to get it on there just so I could drive the truck around, knowing that I would have to take it back off in the future to put the sending unit in. But I think this will work. Yeah, I could have put a straight handle, but this one looks a little sexier, I guess. It should do it. Alright, I'm gonna go clean this up with a wire wheel and be right back. Alright, that looks a lot better. I may put some kind of grease on here or something to lube it up. Anytime you're putting something inside of something else, it's always better to use a little lube. If you know what I mean. It will help them slide together easier. You put it in there dry, it's grabbing an O-ring, it's going to try to roll it up, but I may not have to use anything just because it's got enough gas on it. It's wet, it should lock on. So let's go in there and see if we can set this sucker in there and test it out. Okay, so if you paid attention to the rest of the videos, this unit had this whole sending unit removed. It literally had this on there and that was it. So I couldn't tell how much fuel I had. We're going to put this in and hopefully use the new tool we made to put the locking ring on. So let's get started. Oh, but before I do, I need to fill that up with some gas. That tank is, well, it ain't nearly empty, but there's not a lot in it. And I've also got to redo my fuel hose because the way the guy I bought the truck from has it set up, the fuel actually has to go uphill then down into the tank, and it does not work. So I'm just going to fill it right through the opening. This is my handy electric fuel pump. We'll put about 8 or 10 gallons in it. Then we can also tell if the fuel gauge is working when I hook all that stuff up. I really wish I knew if these worked. Those are the sending unit wires, and that's the fuel pump. And they had these wires on it, and of course I have another one down here that I ran to the fuel pump relay just so that I could run the truck. But We'll figure it out. That can had about 3 gallons in it, 3 or 4. About 4 gallons in it also. Yeah, give or take. I may have had more gas in it than I thought. We may end up with almost a full tank. Probably not. It's a 38 or 39 gallon tank, I believe, so we may have a half or a little less than half by the time I pump this all in there. But it should be enough to get us somewhere to get more gas. And at least now, if the fuel gauge works, I'll be like, hey, you need to stop, before I just run out going down the road. Which I'll probably take a gas can or two with me just in case the gas gauge ain't reading right. Yeah, I think I am going to lube that O-ring. Now, let's hope the new tool works. Get our tool over it all. Even with a tool, these are still a pain in the butt. No, that didn't go. Another ring stuck to my tool. What's the matter? Huh? You and Mommy going somewhere? Yeah, that tool is not going to work. Unfortunately, it hits these ribs, so we're back to doing it the old-fashioned way. Trying to hold this sucker and drive it in. What a huge pain in the Eventually, that's what these damn things take, is some cussing. Alright, now we gotta put the keepers back on it. Yeah, that one's... And then we got to hook the wires back up. Now, I know where this one goes. Alright, as you can see, it used to read way above full, but at the same time, that tank is not full. So, I don't know if it's really working or not. I'm going to go ahead and put butt connectors on those wires, and then I'm going to move the Explorer out of the way, and we're going to take it down the road and see if the gauge moves any. Alright, so here's what it does, or what it did, and still does before I had the sending unit in. It goes way down there. Now, I mean, maybe the tank's fuller than it looks, but I think it's because I'm on the incline I'm on in the driveway. It's probably close to full, and then just the incline I'm on is making it read a little higher because the float's moved up. Alright, now I'll show you what it does with the sending unit connected. It creeps down and it gets right at the full mark. So we're going to clean the bed off, and then see if we can take it down the road. Let's move the car out of the way. And then I'm going to put y'all on the hood. Okay, well, the needle did move. It went down. Oh, shut up. It went down to like 7/8 of a tank. So I don't know how accurate that sending unit's going to be. I mean, it's the one that was called out for this truck on good old eBay. So I'm hoping that I had little extra wires kind of tucked inside the tank for that fuel pump. I'm praying they're not holding the float from moving all the way up or down. If they are, that's gonna suck, because I'm going to take that ring back off and do that fun crap again. But we'll just see. We'll just have to drive it around and see if it starts dropping, you know, 3/4, half a tank or whatever. And if it does, we'll know we're good. But anyways, the other thing I got left to do, this isn't mounted permanently. I've got to get it out and hook up the little yellow wire for constant power. It's hooked up wrong, so it's hooked up to where when you turn the key off, it turns power off to it too. So as in the last video I was explaining, every time you turn it on, it goes back to 87.5 on the radio and 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. or whatever it says. So there's my little microphone. I don't know where else to put it. I don't really want to have a wire run up and down somewhere. It would have been better, I guess, if I could have run it across and had it sitting right here, but it is what it is. It'll work. So we've got headlights. Still don't have low beam. I got to put the floor switch in. We do have high beam. I got turn signals on the front. I got cab lights. I have tach, speedometer, questionable gas gauge, but I do have one. Temp gauge, amp gauge, oil pressure gauge, all work. Wipers, they're kind of iffy. I'm probably going to have to replace the wiper motor, and of course wiper blades, they're shot. Fuel tank switch, do not ever push that, because it doesn't have the other tank. There's still lines and the switches there, so if you flip it to the other tank, it's not going to start. Which I guess that'd be good anti-theft. Flip it up and nobody's going anywhere, or at least they're not going to make it far before it runs out of gas. Tilt wheel works. I didn't check the cruise control. I think we're going to take it down the road and see if that works. I hope it does. That'd be nice. AC will work once I replace the compressor, flush the system, maybe have to put a new expansion valve in it. I think Fords use expansion valves, and GMs and stuff use the orifice tube. But yeah, let's do that real quick. Let's put you back on the hood. We're going to fire it up. We're going to go down the road and check out the cruise control. Hopefully it works, because that would be handy. Okay, so cruise control does not work, but there's still some wires under the hood that are not connected. So it could easily be something that I've just not hooked back up yet. I do smell, well, and again, the main point of today's video is to get the fuel sending unit working, which it is. So now I can tie up these wires. There's some stuff like this I don't even understand. I need to check it for power. If it is, I need to cut it back, tape it off, and really seal that up good, because I don't need it shorting out. Yeah, you can kind of see how they plugged that off. That is not good. Which I'm gonna take all this exhaust off anyways. Hopefully once I get it all tagged, inspected, and ready to rock and roll, tires on it, I'll take it into town and get dual exhaust on it. That maybe will help open it up and let it breathe. Oh gosh, I gotta get my glasses prescription filled. Constantly putting on the readers and taking them off. I can only see so far with them on, and it's not very far. And then the rest of the time I'm putting them on so I can see up close and see what the camera's doing. But anyhow, guys, I think this is going to be it for now. Like I said, I need to kind of round up stuff and call it a day, or at least work on some other projects. I'm going to go get me a cup of coffee. I'm going to go upload this card and the other, and then we're going to see if we can't get this video posted later today. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. We're getting no Super Duty closer all the time. I mean, really, I could go up and down the road with it right now, and I need to, because I need to see how reliable it's going to be. Or, you know, I drive 30-45 minutes away most of the time. It's not much further than that, but I don't want to take a chance and just take off and go one direction, then the thing dies, runs out of fuel, something shorts out, it catches on fire, or some other thing. So with that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video.